Welcome back to this Let's Play of The Last Remnant. Last time we finished our little date with Emma in the mines and found our mother, but
Guard the gates!
now we got more
Yes,
cutscenes.
sir!
Come on, get a move on!
What's going on?
Lady Emma, rush! Ah, thank the Emperor, you're back safe.
Like there was any doubt.
Things have gotten worse, haven't they?
Yes. The Congress has been slow to grant that conqueror fellow a remnant, and all the lords are in a flurry over it. And the conqueror keeps rattling his saber about taking over countries and seizing their remnants.
You'd expect that from the sort of person who would bind the Ark. He's made an enemy out of every lord with a remnant. What's he plotting?
For starters, he's building an army.
So it's come to war.
Where's Dave?
He's meeting with an envoy from Duke Ermion.
What's Ermion want?
Our cooperation, apparently. Torgal?
You see, the Congress has split into two factions. One sides with the chairman, against the Conqueror. The other supports the Conqueror, fearing the God Emperor's wrath. Duke Ermion wishes to ally with us and end the rift as quickly as possible.
He's asked to speak with me directly, in Nagapur.
What will you do?
Take advantage of the opportunity, of course.
Lord David?
In exchange for supporting Duke Ermion, I'll have him support Athlum's bid for independence. Think of it. We could finally be free from Salapalais.
We're hardly in a position to negotiate after what happened with the Academy.
Perhaps not, but it makes little difference. We can barely touch the Gaybold without the Duke of Cubine's blessing. Why must it be so difficult for Athlum to protect herself? Our country deserves more than this. This is a chance we have to take. Emma. It's good to see you back safely. I continue to ask your aid for the glory of Athlum.
My life is yours.
We leave for Nagapur shortly. Make haste in your preparations.
Yes, my lord.
Well, I don't know about making haste. We're definitely going to make a lot of preparations, because after this event, and more cutscenes yet, we'll have 12 characters in our party, which is more than 9.
Is there really gonna be a war?
It seems unavoidable at this point. Once war breaks out, the remnants will be played against each other. And all that will remain is scorched earth, littered with corpses and blank remnants that have lost those they were bound to. These are dark days we live in. Forgive me. I had something to ask you. Did you finally meet with your mother?
Yeah.
Well?
Dave, promise me something. I'll fight for you, for Athlum. But please, don't get Arena or my mom mixed up in this, okay?
You have my word.
Thanks, Dave.
That's all you had to say?
Yeah?
You'd better hurry and get ready then.
If you were expecting, long, thoughtful speeches from Rush, apparently you don't know him very well, because he's a moron. Always rushing in, I guess. Anyway, it tells you we can now have up to 4 unions and we can have up to 12 party members in the active group. Most of the quests in this game have a start point, this is when they're available, and an end point of when they're available. Many of the quests that are available now are not available by the time you have 15 party members, so I'm going to be doing a lot of the side quests that I've been putting off, because now I have 12 party members, and that's as many as I'm going to have for it. Our first priority before starting on some of these quests is hiring a couple of people who know Vivification Herb. Rush knows it now, I hope, and we will... A couple of my other party members will probably learn it sooner or later, but without Vivification Herb, you really can't, essentially without multiple people with it, you can't fight the enemies that have insta-kill attacks. You're just going to lose. And one of the characters I want to recruit involves fighting a dragon, and dragons in this game all have this bite attack, which instantly kills whatever it attacks, as well as, just a lot of other attacks that can just kill people, just, the good old-fashioned way of just doing lots of damage. But in many cases, the fights in this game, there's no way you're going to actually survive the damage you take, and the only way to survive is to die and then get resurrected. Sort of a dumb way to do it, but hey, Dave is asking for a sword, just random sword I bought as part of my preparations for round 2 against those statues. The first thing I'm going to do here, before we get involved with any of this stuff, is I am going to run into the guild here in Athlum to recruit some new people. Some of these were actually available earlier, but I don't really care to use them. I'm only recruiting them because you have to recruit them to get their missions. And that's Loki and Nora, both of whom are fairly useless. And we've completed a bunch of random guild tasks, mostly just ones that involve random items that we've collected by harvesting. So that does give us a little bit more money, which is helpful because here we're down to like 60. There are still quite a few of these. The first one that I'm going to do is probably the Monster Slayer to slay the Dominator in Blackdale. That's again something where you're going to need Vivification Herb to do it, because it uses Curse, and Curse also insta-kills you. Isn't that wonderful? Insta-kills everywhere. Many of the level 7 classes, I think all of them, include the ability to ignore instant death attacks. And that's a really, really useful ability in this game because a lot of enemies use instant death attacks. It's really kind of cheap, but, that's what you got. Now that we've got the quest to go to Nagapur, we can go up to here to the heroic ramparts, which essentially allow you to get to Nagapur. But the first thing I'm going to do is actually head to a separate town called Melphina. Getting there is not super hard, but it requires some wandering around. We're back in Elysian, or Illusion, I guess as they call it. There's no U in that word, but I don't know. That's how they pronounce it. I mean, would you pronounce G-H-O-T-I, fish? Yeah, well, enough people do. At least they gave the bartendress a red dialogue bubble for this, and she sort of talks about the various nearby cities. And if you hadn't been to Baltarosa earlier, you could head to the Great Sand Sea now. But what she also does is unlocks another area, which is down here, which is Bereka Valtel. And so we'll head to Bereka Valtel. And the map note says it means land of beautiful horses. There are no horses here. you actually have to come to this area quite a bit later in the game to get to Mount Bakel in order to get to the city of Underwald, which is, I think, the last city in the game. It's going to be a while before we do that.
Come on out!
There's some good digging points here, but I'm not going to bother with them at this point. Dodging enemies around here is a little complicated, and there's a much easier digging point to deal with in the next area. And the next area here is Crukfen. Now, Crukfen is an area we're going to be spending some time in, frankly. The best monster in the game for grinding is found here. He's not here right now. He's actually part of a quest, and you have to sort of repeatedly fail the quest in order to spawn him. But I am going to do a couple other things here, and since I don't really want to fight the monsters here, I'm not really set up to, I'm going to save right here. Alright. There are a couple of chests around here. I'm not going to bother with them. I will be back to this area many times before the game is done. Trust me. The reason the monster here is so good for fighting is it's a boss type monster that you capture every time, so it's worth good money in addition to good XP. Hard to pass up. Anyway, this area also has this diving point.
Come on out!
And
Alright! Awesome!
this diving point is one of its common drops these rough Oberon stones, which are worth 600 each. So this is a good place to make money. I'll do a full sort of digging off-screen. And I'm saving one because right behind this great dig point is an excavation point.
Come on out!
With another morsel. So I'm going to go back to the dig point and go digging again, because this will restore my dig count. Alright, well,
yes!
Enough of that. Oh, I guess we got platinum digger, whatever. I accidentally picked up that chest while I was running around there, trying to avoid these little fairy things. And it's just a formation modifier for a formation I don't have, which is, I don't know, not much of a reward. But we're just about out of time for this episode anyways, so... Oh, I guess I'm out of digs. I can't get that excavation point. And we walk out of here onto the map, and we have access to the town of Melphina. So, next time we'll explore the town of Melphina, but for now, we're out of time.